Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 1st, and right now we're looking at some monsoon moisture moving up the west coast of North America, but thunderstorms should be confined to the Oregon Cascades today. You can kind of see this weak trough moving through the area. It's going to cool down portions of western Washington, Oregon by about 10 or more degrees today. Another warm day for eastern Washington, Oregon coming up. You can see Hurricane Frank spinning out here, losing some of its deep convection as it moves over cooler waters. Here comes Wednesday's system, going to bring some precipitation to BC. It's going to try to bring some down into western Washington and western Oregon also. We'll take a look at some of those values as we get closer to the event. We'll take a little bit of a look at that system here in a couple minutes. Now, looking here at the visible satellite imagery, you can see Mount Rainier here. You can see the standing lenticular cloud downwind of it here as it forces this air up against the mountain, up cools, condenses, drops down, and then continues to oscillate downwind from the mountain there. I got the drone up, try to get a time lapse of that. We'll see how that turns out. Checking out the region here, you can see red flag warnings for eastern Oregon. Hopefully those thunderstorms don't cause any more fires. The excessive heat warnings for one more day through portions of Oregon and eastern Washington as well. And some monsoon flooding concerns for Nevada and Oregon there. Checking out SeaTac yesterday, 95. That's 3 straight days of 95 and 6 straight days of 90 plus for SeaTac. That is the longest duration of 90 plus temperatures we've ever had here in Seattle. So we're not going to get there today. We're going to be down towards the lower 80s. So finally that heat wave has come to an end. Portland, 7 straight days of 95 plus. They did 98 yesterday, 102 the previous day there, but the cool down is going to be starting here coming up. Now, looking at the Tri-Cities, 105 yesterday, not as high as that 102 on Friday, and the cool down is coming relatively speaking, but we may be warming up again here later on in through the weekend, so stay tuned for a moment, and I'll show you why. Here goes the GFS, 850 millibars, 5,000 feet. You can see the heat dome that's been causing our heat wave. As we go through on into this afternoon, you can kind of see it relaxing a little bit above average for Seattle and Portland, closer to average on Tuesday and Wednesday across the region before this system is moving in here on Wednesday afternoon, evening into Thursday morning across the region. So we're really going to cool down across the region here as we go through Thursday. Quite a nice relief there. But as we get back towards Saturday, watch what happens here. You can see this heat building aloft here across the region. We go through Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, and on in through Tuesday even here on the GFS before we start to get some marine air back in here. So we'll just call it a warm wave at this point. We're not going to go into too many details yet as it is still a ways out. You know, it's only Monday today and we're talking about the weekend. So let's watch it a little bit closer here as we get towards the event. The European is hinting at that also, though, I should point out. We'll look at that here in a moment. Now, looking at that system Wednesday, first of all, we have thunderstorms going through Oregon Cascades this afternoon and on in through Tuesday. Hopefully this don't start any more fires down there. Here comes the system Wednesday. You see the precipitation coming on the west coast of BC there through Vancouver Island. It tries to bring some of that in through western Washington. The European showing it does, mainly Seattle north, where it tries to bring a little bit of precipitation down through northwest Oregon into the Portland area as well. But this will definitely cool down the area. It'll be a nice relief from what we've had this past week across the region. This is what's going on currently, and I wanted to fast forward a little bit here. You can see the system moving through Wednesday, Thursday, just barely shows up at the surface here, just a weak low. And then as we go through Friday, Saturday, look what starts to happen here. The GFS even builds a little bit of a thermal trough, a very nebulous looking thing, but it would warm us up here across the region as we go on in through the weekend. So that's what we're going to be watching for after the system moves through on Thursday. It's the next weather maker for the area. Now, this is looking at the GFS also. This is 2-meter temperature anomaly. You can kind of see how we're a little bit above average now for eastern Washington, actually quite a bit above average in some spots, and for western Washington, Oregon. But as we go through Tuesday, we're closer to average here, and then we get more seasonable. And as we go through Thursday, we cool down a bit. Look at Washington, BC, and Oregon there by Thursday evening. Nice break from that hot weather. But then again, as we go through Saturday here, look, we start to warm up here again along the west coast all the way into BC there. Sunday as well. Look at that. There's Monday. Tuesday. Looks like we're going to warm up again here, folks, potentially here. But before we get too excited about that yet, it does not look like quite as significant as a heat wave coming up here. We'll just call it a warm up at this point. We'll continue to monitor it as we go through here. As you can see, we kind of cool down on in through later the following week as some marine air does make its way into the area in the extended. Now here's the European, 850 millibars, 5,000 feet. You can see the heat dome that's been plaguing us across the region here for the last week. And this finally starts to wane and weaken as we get the system rolling through here on Wednesday and Thursday to really cool us down. But then watch what happens as we go towards the weekend. We start to build this dome of warm air up over the region again, all the way into British Columbia here through Sunday, Monday. You can kind of see us flirting with this marine air, trying to push in here versus the hot air. We're kind of on the edge of it there as we go through the extended. So we'll just continue to watch that for now. This is the European 2-meter temperature anomaly here. So this is looking at this afternoon today. You see slightly above normal, a little bit warmer for eastern Washington. And as we go through on into Wednesday and Thursday, you can see those temperatures cool us down. Nice break coming up here on Thursday before we start to warm up again here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, before maybe another marine push on Monday, according to the European. But that does show a nice 3-day warm up there. So again, we'll just continue to monitor that. Tri-Cities, you can see today the last really warm day, then it kind of cools down a bit towards maybe a little bit below 100 here, and then you can see some marine influence from that trough on Thursday and Friday, and then they warm up a bit above average here, kind of highlighting maybe that heat potential again here as we go through early the following week. This is for Seattle, Tacoma. This was yesterday afternoon, so I wanted to show you this for the extended. You can see that system moving through Thursday and Friday here and cooling us down. Then that potential for that warm up again, probably up into the mid 80s at least as we go through later this weekend into early next week. So there is that potential. There's Portland kind of showing the cool down too there, and then the potential heat the following week. So not bad model agreement there between the GFS and the European. Here's the day one fire outlook. You can see the isolated dry thunderstorms here for portions of Oregon. Elevated fire risk does exist mainly for east slopes of the Cascades all the way down to Oregon, Washington, and for Montana that risk exists as well. Here's day two, elevated risk, and you can see isolated dry thunderstorms again are a possibility down through Oregon. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with, folks. We're going to cool down here. You're going to notice it on Thursday. It's going to be cloudy and even a little bit rainy in some spots, especially Seattle north. And then we're going to start to warm things up again in the wake of that system on and through next weekend. So we'll just see how warm we're going to get here. It's has the potential of warming us up significantly, or maybe it's just kind of maybe it's just going to kind of be more of an Eastern Washington, Oregon type thing as we get more of a marine influence with that. That's yet to be seen, just how much of this heat dome builds back up over the region here on through the extended. We'll continue to monitor that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that heat wave. We're going to cool down a bit here, especially for Seattle and Portland here for the next few days. But then we'll watch for that warm up potentially off in the future. And we'll watch these high resolution models come in here for that system on Wednesday night into Thursday and try to pinpoint where it's going to rain and just how much rain we're going to get. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll do this again then. And I hope you guys are having a good day.